Hi friends, welcome back. Today in this lesson, we are going to deal with the analytical method of vector addition. What is that? Analytical method of vector addition. For that, just imagine there are two vectors are given the. Say it as this is the vector A. Okay, this is the vector A and this is the vector B. Vector A and vector B. As you already know, if the two vectors are given in terms of vector diagram, we already discussed about how to measure the resultant using parallelogram method or using triangular method. Now let's use the parallelogram method in this case here. If you use the parallelogram method, I can shift this A vector here without changing the magnitude and direction. So this is the A vector. Okay. Now shift the B vector in such a way that their tails are in contact. So I can shift this B vector exactly at the tail of the A vector. So the vector become like this. See this one without changing the magnitude and the direction. Now what is the next case here? Next case is here we are now constructing a parallelogram. We are constructing a parallelogram. This side must be equal and this side must be equal. As you already know, we are now constructing the parallelogram. See, we have now constructed the parallelogram. Now how to get the resultant of this one? In order to get the resultant of this two vectors, we have to draw a diagonal. You see, we are drawing a diagonal. Should be a straight line. We are drawing a diagonal and the arrow mark must be shown upward. See this one, this is the arrow mark. That means now this is the B vector, correct? And this is the A vector. So this is called what? The resultant vector. What is that? Resultant vector. So now we can write here the resultant vector R vector is equal to A vector plus B vector. R vector is equal to A vector plus B vector. Now let's derive the equation for the analytical method of vector addition. For that, what you are doing here, you are now extending this A vector. So we can give some name here, O, here we can give P, Q, S, okay. So just extend the OP here. So while you are extending this one, you can see just a dotted line, just imaginary one we are doing here. Now draw a perpendicular from Q to the extended line OP. So here if we are drawing a perpendicular, so this is the angle 90 degree, okay. So here you can give the name here N. What is that? N. Now in order to derive the relation, just to make the angle here, the angle between A vector and B vector. What is the angle between A vector and B vector? Can we give it as theta? Yeah, we can give the angle it as theta. Now, what is the angle between the resultant vector and the A vector? What is the angle between resultant vector and the A vector? Say it as alpha. Say it as alpha. Now, say this angle as, that is this angle as beta. Okay. Now one more case here. If the angle between A vector and B vector is equal to theta, what is the angle between these case? What is the angle between this? If this is theta, here this also become what? Theta. Okay. If the angle between A vector and B vector is theta, this angle also become what? Theta, because we are extending the OP vector here and the same as the B vector we are drawing here a parallel line. So this angle also become what? Theta. Right. Now let's derive the analytical method of vector addition. First you consider the triangle. See the triangle here, PNQ. The triangle PNQ. Okay. From the triangle PNQ, just find what is sine theta. What is sine theta here? Sine theta is equal to opposite side. Here what is the opposite side here? That is QN. QN opposite side divided by hypotenuse. Sine theta is equal to opposite side divided by hypotenuse, right? So what is the hypotenuse here? Hypotenuse is same as PQ. PQ is same as what? OS. OS is equal to what? B, right? So we are writing the magnitude. So we can write here B. So we got now here from this equation Qn is equal to B sine theta. Qn is equal to B sine theta. So we got here Qn is equal to B sine theta. Correct. Next one, just find the cos theta from the same triangle. Same triangle means what? P, N, Q. So cos theta is equal to adjacent side. That is what? Adjacent side Pn, right? Cos theta is equal to adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. So divide by, what is the hypotenuse here? Same as PQ, PQ same as OS, OS is equal to what? B. So once again we got B, therefore we got another equation, Pn is equal to B cos theta. Pn is equal to B cos theta. So we can write here the Pn value, that is equal to B cos theta. Consider another triangle, that is triangle ONQ. Triangle ONQ. From the triangle ONQ, you can see here, use the Pythagoras theorem. Use the Pythagoras theorem. What is the Pythagoras theorem is talking about? Hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square, right? So we can write here only the magnitude. R square is equal to, that is a hypotenuse square, right? Is equal to, now what is this one? ON. So I can write here ON square plus, next one is what? Qn square. So Qn square. Now R square is equal to, what is ON? ON means OP plus PN, correct? What is OP? OP is equal to A. So we can write here A plus, what is PN? PN we have already calculated, B cos theta. So we can write here B cos theta the whole square plus, now what is Qn? Qn is equal to B sine theta, we have already derived. So B sine theta the whole square. So we can calculate the answer. R square is equal to A plus B cos theta whole square means what? A plus B whole square, correct? So we can write this equation as A square plus B square. B square means what? B square cos square theta plus 2AB. That means plus 2AB cos theta plus, next one is what? B sine theta whole square. So B square sine square theta. Therefore, we can write here R square is equal to A square plus B square is now common here. So we can take it outside. So sine square theta plus cos square theta. Okay, sine square theta plus cos square theta plus 2AB cos theta. Therefore, see this one, sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, as you already know. So what is the final equation? R square is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Therefore, what is the magnitude of resultant vector? The resultant R is equal to square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So this is the relation we are using to calculate the magnitude of resultant. Here R is equal to square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, where theta is the angle between the vector A and the vector B. Clear? So this equation is also called what? Law of cosines. What is that? Law of cosines. Now let's derive a relation for the angle alpha. Here what is the angle alpha? Angle alpha is the angle between the resultant vector making an angle with the A vector. So let's find the angle alpha. So in order to calculate the angle alpha or the direction of the resultant vector making with the A vector, we can use the triangle. From the diagram you can see the triangle ONQ. Okay, from the triangle ONQ, just find the tan alpha. What is the tan alpha? Tan alpha is equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side. Here what is the opposite side? QN is the opposite side. What is the adjacent side? ON is the adjacent side. That is equal to, what is QN? QN is equal to B sine theta divided by ON is equal to OP plus PN. OP is equal to what? A. The magnitude is A. What is Pn? Pn is equal to b cos theta. So what we can write here? A plus b cos theta. A plus b cos theta. So this is the equation. That is, once again let me write, tan alpha is equal to b sin theta divided by a plus b cos theta. So this is the relation to find the angle between the a vector and the resultant vector. Tan alpha is equal to b sin theta divided by a plus b cos theta. Now let's discuss a few cases regarding this. Okay. Case 1. What is the case 1? Just imagine the two vectors a vector and b vector are acting in the same direction. In that case, what is the theta become? Theta is equal to 0. Theta is equal to 0. So what is the relation become? As we already know the analytical method, r is equal to square root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, correct? Here theta is equal to what? 0. So cos 0 is equal to what? 1. So what is equation become? R is equal to square root of a square plus b square plus 2ab. That can be written as r is equal to square root of a plus b whole square. A plus b whole square, because a square plus b square plus 2ab is equal to what? A plus b whole square. Therefore the resultant r is equal to what? A plus b. So what is the meaning? When the two vectors are acting in the same direction, we can simply add it. And in that case, the resultant vector will be acting in the same direction of the vectors a and b. Clear? So for example, this is the a vector and this is the b vector. If you add, the resultant vector also will be acting in which direction? In the same direction. So this is the one. When the two vectors are acting in the same direction, you can simply add it. So r is equal to what? A plus b. So here, one thing you remember here, r is equal to a plus b means what? R is the magnitude of the resultant, a is the magnitude of the a vector, and b is the magnitude of b vector. So we are adding what? The magnitude. If so, what is the angle formula we have already discussed? Tan alpha is equal to, see this one, b sin theta. What is a b sin theta? Theta equal to 0, right? So b sin 0, 0. So the whole term become what? 0. So tan alpha is equal to 0. So we can write here alpha is equal to tan inverse of 0, that is equal to 0 degree. So alpha is equal to 0 degree means what? The resultant vector will be acting in the same direction of the given two vectors. Clear? Now let's discuss about the case 2. Okay, what is the case 2? When the two vectors a and b acting perpendicular to each other, that means theta is equal to 90 degree. Theta is equal to 90 degree. So just imagine a vector is this one and b vector is exactly acting 90 degree with the a vector. So in that case, what is the resultant vector formula? R is equal to square root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, right? Here what is a theta? Theta equal to 90. So what is a cos 90? Cos 90 equal to 0. So what is the resultant equation? R is equal to square root of a square plus b square. So you'll be getting the formula here what? R is equal to square root of a square plus b square. So this is a formula we have to use when the two vectors are acting perpendicular to each other. So in this case, what is the direction of resultant vector? So we can calculate the direction of resultant vector. Tan alpha is equal to, what is the basic formula? B sin theta divided by a plus b cos theta. So here it become what? B sin theta. Theta is equal to what? 90 divided by a plus b cos theta. Here theta once again 90. So tan alpha can be written as sin 90 equal to what? 1. So b divided by a plus b cos 90. What is the cos 90? 0, right? So what is the equation become? Tan alpha is equal to b by a. Therefore we can calculate alpha is equal to tan inverse of b divided by a. So this is a way to calculate what? The resultant vector when two vectors are acting perpendicular to each other, and at the same time what is the direction of resultant? The direction of resultant will be acting the angle is given the what? Alpha. So alpha is equal to what? Tan inverse of B divided by A. Let's discuss about the case 3. Here what is the case 3? Okay. When two vectors, that is A vector and B vector, are acting opposite to each other. So in that case, what is the theta between the A vector and B vector when both are acting opposite? Theta is equal to 180 degree. Theta is equal to 180. So we can use the resultant of these two vectors when they are acting opposite to each other. R is equal to square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 180. That is, we can write here 2AB cos 180. As you already know, cos 180 is equal to what? Minus 1. So resultant vector R is equal to square root of A square plus B square minus 2AB. Cos 180 is equal to minus 1, right? So minus plus minus 2AB. This is same as what? R is equal to square root of A minus B whole square. A minus B whole square. So what is the resultant vector formula? R is equal to A minus B. R is equal to A minus B. That is resultant vector. When two vectors are acting opposite to each other, you just subtract their magnitude. So R is equal to what? A minus B. Here A minus B, maybe we can write here like this, plus or minus A minus B. Plus or minus A minus B. Why I have written here plus or minus A minus B? Just an example. Just imagine this is the B vector. Okay. And this is the A vector. Okay. A vector and B vector. Here which one is more? A vector or B vector? A vector is greater than B vector. That means when you subtract this A minus B, you will be getting the resultant in which direction? In the direction of A vector. So this is the direction of what? Resultant vector. Correct? So this can be taken as what? Plus A minus B. At the same time, you just imagine the B vector magnitude is greater than A vector magnitude. See, this is the A vector magnitude. In this case, what is the direction of resultant vector? Here you can see here the direction of resultant vector in the direction of B vector. Clear? So the resultant vector in this case may be either positive or maybe negative. Depends upon magnitude of the A vector and B vector. If the magnitude of A is greater, resultant will be acting in that direction. If the magnitude of B is greater, the resultant will be acting in this direction. So in this case, if you use the formula tan alpha is equal to B sin 180 divided by A plus B cos 180. Correct? If you use the formula, you can make two conclusions here. Alpha may be 0 degree or alpha may be 180 degree. What is alpha here? Alpha is the angle making the resultant vector with A vector, right? If in the first case, you see in the first case, what is the direction of resultant vector and A vector? That is equal to 0. But in the second case, what is the direction of resultant vector making the A vector? That is equal to 180 degree. So these are the cases regarding when theta is equal to 180 degree. Two cases are the resultant vector either act in right side or it may act in left side. Okay. Now let's discuss about the law of sines. Okay. So in order to derive the law of sines, just to draw a perpendicular from the point P towards this OQ. So if I draw a perpendicular, you see I am drawing a perpendicular. So this angle as well as this angle is equal to what? 90 degree. So this is called perpendicular. Right. Now give one name here, say it as T. This point as T. Take the triangle ONQ. Triangle ONQ. What is sine alpha? What is sine alpha? Sine alpha is equal to opposite side divided by hypotenuse, right? What is the opposite side? That is Qn, that is equal to B sine theta divided by what is the hypotenuse here? That is equal to R. Clear? So we can write one equation from here. R divided by sine theta, you see this one? R divided by sine theta is equal to b divided by sine alpha. Say it as equation number 1. Clear? From the triangle OQN, we can make a conclusion here about r divided by sine theta is equal to b divided by sine alpha. Now, consider the triangle OTP. Okay, the triangle OTP. From the triangle OTP, we can once again calculate sine alpha is equal to opposite side, that is equal to what? TP divided by hypotenuse. Here what is hypotenuse? Here the hypotenuse is what? OP. Clear? OP is equal to what? A. So we can write here TP by A. So what is a TP equal to? TP is equal to A sine alpha. Now let's use the another triangle, that is QTP. You can write here QTP. From there you can find the angle sine beta. You see this one, sine beta. Sine beta is equal to, once again, opposite side is equal to what? TP divided by hypotenuse. In this case, what is a hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is equal to what? PQ. PQ is same as what? OS. OS is equal to what? B. So we will be getting the equation here once again. TP is equal to B sine beta. Okay. So TP is equal to A sine alpha. TP is equal to B sine beta. So left hand sides are equal in these two equations. So we can write here A sine alpha is equal to B sine beta. So we can write this equation as B divided by, see this one, B divided by sine alpha is equal to, B divided by sine alpha is equal to what? A divided by sine beta. A divided by sine beta. Now look at this equation number 1 and the equation number, say it as equation number 2. Compare this equation number 1 and 2. B sin alpha equal to R by sin theta. B sin alpha is equal to A by sin beta. So we can write this equation as R by sin theta is equal to B by sin alpha is equal to A by sin beta. This is called law of sines. Once again, R divided by sin theta, which is equal to B divided by sin alpha, which is equal to A divided by sin beta. A opposite angle beta, B opposite angle alpha, and the R, here the angle is here about theta. So what is the law of sines here? R by sin theta is equal to B by sin alpha is equal to A by sin beta. Today in this lesson we are mainly discussed about the two laws. One is law of cosines and the other one is law of sines. I hope you understood this topic. Okay, thank you all of you.